What's good, Commanders fans? Again, shout out to the Commanders King. Shout out to my guys. Shout out to my guy Rio. Shout out to my guy Louie. Shout out to my guy Rico. The Commanders Kings for sure, man. Holding it down for the week. Of course, like I told you guys, with my own channel. It's on lock right now. Thank you guys for commenting on the previous video. Free Ed. Lou 218 said, Ed, I got something on your commissary. 100 emoji. And then thank you for AJSTP003 for the super thanks. I appreciate that, guys. Free the real, Ed Oliver, free the real. So I'll be out soon, guys. But I'm on here, thank goodness for this platform, so I can bring you guys some content because it's playoff week, man. How can I sit here and just, not say anything at all, not make any content on the biggest week of football that we've had since 2020, the biggest, last time we made the playoffs was 2020. I said that. And then the last time we won a playoff game was 2005, where we have a darn good chance to win a playoff game. So how can I sit back for something that hasn't happened in 20 years and just be silent and not making videos and talk to you guys at all? That's just not possible. That's just not possible. So I saw that there was some news that they signed some reserve future contracts. I love practice squad signings. I love signings and adding guys, whatever roster move it is. I don't care if it's a practice squad signing or whatever. I don't really care. I mean, I just like adding to the roster. I like adding talent. That's what I like, and they brought in a couple guys in for workouts. They brought in Anthony McFarland who went to the University of Maryland, who had a really good college career. They brought in Demetric Felton, who had a darn good college career. They brought in a cornerback from Penn State, Johnny Dixon, who had a darn good college career too, but his NFL career just hasn't kicked off yet. And they brought in two other corners. I just can't remember their names, but I was intrigued by those workouts, and they signed two guys from those workouts to reserve future contracts. They signed running back / wide receiver Demetric Felton, who went to UCLA, played for the Browns, has bounced around a couple of teams on their practice squads. And then they signed Lawrence Cager. Lawrence Cager is a tight end. He played for the Giants. He played for... Who else did he play for? He played for the Giants. He played for the Jets. And he played for the Browns. And in his career, he's caught 2 touchdowns. So it's not like he hasn't done anything. He's played in games. We signed guys to the practice squad who have been on preseason rosters and practice squad rosters, but they have not played in games. And I think there is some upside to Lawrence Cager's game. He went to Georgia, 6'5", 220 pounds. He's from Baltimore, 27 years old. I did not know he was from Baltimore. Went to Calvert Hall College, private school in Baltimore, which is a prestigious school, pretty good athletic program as well in Baltimore, in Towson, Maryland. At that, so I like bringing him in for a reserve future contract, see what the young man has. You do have Cole Turner on the practice squad. He just hasn't panned out. You have Colson Yankoff. And then Ben Sinnott hasn't really jumped off just yet, but we'll see what Ben Sinnott does his sophomore season. You got Zach Ertz, some Yak Zach. We'll see if he's back next year. So I like this signing, man. Lawrence Cager, with the Cleveland Browns and with the Jets in the 2022 season, had 13 catches for 118 yards. Nothing to write home about, but he scored a touchdown. He was a wide receiver at the University of Georgia. Went to the University of Miami for 3 years, then transferred to Georgia. At Georgia, he had 33 catches, 476 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Then he made the transition to tight end. He had 6 touchdowns his junior year at the University of Miami. Had a couple good preseason showings as well. So I don't mind this. I don't mind the signing of Lawrence Cager. I think that I'm not gonna say a lot of upside because he's 27, but you just never know, man. You never know. You never know what these guys can pan out to be. So I do like the signing of Lawrence Cager. So there's nothing I can really say too much about Lawrence Cager. I'll read his NFL draft profile. So he didn't really have a lot to go off on his relative athletic score, but he had a 55 score, athleticism score, which was poor. But that's him at the wide receiver position. Now, at the tight end position, he probably would have scored a little bit better. But his write-up, he's projected to be around 6 to 7. His NFL comparison is Justin Watson, who is on the Chiefs. So Lawrence Cager, the strengths are outstanding size combined with smooth athleticism. Scored a touchdown once every 5.6 catches in college. Size and body control work in his favor on jump balls. Played with substantially better focus than at Miami. Made every contested catch imaginable in 2019. Vice grip claws allowed nothing to come free in 2019. That's a very interesting description there in the NFL draft combine. Right up for him. He plays through draped coverage and frames out defenders, aggressive and physical at the top of the route. Played much faster in 2019. Has size and strength to stick and sustain as a blocker. So as a blocker. So he scored a touchdown against Dallas. He caught a pass from Tommy DeVito, I believe. They were losing 28-0. Then they made it 28-7 when he scored the touchdown at Dallas. This was in the last year in 2023. Actually, yeah, he has two touchdowns. One in 2022, one in 2023. He had 8 first down catches in 2022, so he does have a knack for moving the chains. So there's something there, and his longest catch was of 20 yards in 2022. His longest catch in 2023 was 10 yards. So just something to think about there with Lawrence Cager. Now, the guy that I'm really intrigued with is Demetric Felton. They did sign Amin Darkwa, the big fella that they signed earlier to the practice squad. The big, like 6'7", 6'8" tackle and went to University of Howard in DC. So another local guy there, and signing Amin Darkwa to a reserve future contract. People say that he's an athletic freak or like just a behemoth size wise. So, but Demetric Felton, man, there's a lot to say about him. So I remember him in the Senior Bowl at UCLA. Like, he was just a jack of all trades, hybrid, wide receiver, hybrid, running back / wide receiver, can return kicks, had a kickoff return for a touchdown at UCLA his junior year. You look at some of his numbers. I remember in the Senior Bowl, like, they had him on the one-on-one drills running with the wide receivers, and he was juking guys out their shoes, making guys miss in a phone booth, making something shake. You know, he was making moves and getting open. Now, relative athletic score-wise, which, you know, you kind of want to throw that out the window, it doesn't really matter. But he didn't test well. You know, his combine numbers were not good for a wide receiver, and that's why I felt like he dropped to the 6th round. If he would have, like, did a good job in the combine or whatever, then I feel like maybe he would have been a 4th round pick. But he ended up being a 6th round pick, which is not bad at all. Because I know Anthony McFarland, he was a 4th round pick out of Maryland. But Demetric Felton, he was projected to be around, you know, 4th, 5th, 6th round. 5'9", 189 pounds, red shirt senior. Athleticism score test was a 52, which was really awful. He was ranked 48th in the combine out of all wide receivers. He just didn't test well for whatever reason. But like I said, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. At the end of the day, he has a 31 and a half vertical leap, which is so odd because when you watch him play, like, he's so elusive, like, he's so slippery, tough to tackle, tough to break down, tough to catch. He makes guys miss. 40-yard dash ran a 4.59, which was poor. He just graded poor in every metric. Bench press, I think, was 3 reps? No, not 3 reps. But the vertical leap was bad. The shuttle, 4.5 seconds, was very poor. 3-cone drill, 7.31 seconds, was poor. 40-yard dash, poor. But like I said, I mean, you look at him play. I mean, he had a nasty spin move with the Browns, too, for a touchdown in, like, one of his first games as a pro. And he had to step in with, I think Nick Chubb was out. He had to step in and play, and he made big plays. Like, other than the first 2 games of the year, though, he didn't do much after that. But, I mean, the guy came in and made an impact. He had 18 catches for 181 yards. And he played in 16 games but had 2 starts. 18 catches for 181 yards, 2 touchdowns. Rushing-wise, 7 carries for 24 yards, and his longest run was for 12 yards. His longest catch was for 33 yards. I think that's the touchdown where he had the nasty spin move. It's like, if you look up the highlights on YouTube, it's like he hit the circle button because he just spun like it was Madden. That's how elusive he is. So getting him on a reserve deal, like, I don't know how they feel about Casimir Allen. Casimir Allen went to UCLA too. So maybe he may be the Casimir Allen replacement on the practice squad just to develop him and see what he has. So I like Demetric Felton, man. Like, look at some of his college stuff. I know it's college. But, man, he made some big plays. Like, there's some numbers here I want to say real quick before I wrap this up. Where the stats go? I had a bunch of stats up here. He had Felton had 17 catches of 15-plus yards since 2019. That's second most among running backs in college football. The most yards after the catch among running backs since 2019. Demetric Felton had 739 yards after the catch. So we talk about yak. This guy clearly gets yak, yards after the catch. I would say like Chris Thompson light, Jaden McKissick light. That's what he can do. He can come in out the backfield, like he's so versatile. You can move him around, and if Cliff is here next year, I think he could definitely use Demetric Felton. I don't know if he'll make the roster, but if he does make the roster, the practice squad, if he gets elevated 1 week, he could be like a secret weapon. Come in there and use him. Demetric Felton, he played 3 snaps on offense in the game, and the game that he scored a touchdown. He had 2 catches on 2 targets for 51 yards and a touchdown. Had a ridiculous 98.7 PFF grade in that game. So, I mean, you give him the ball and he can make something shake and make something happen. At UCLA as well, he had 332 touches and only 2 fumbles. So, he has a knack at keeping the football. And then 2021, he had 10 snaps in the backfield, 38 snaps in the slot or the inline, and then 9 snaps out wide. So, I mean, like I said, he can be a chess piece, man, just like J.D. McKissick back in the day. Who else? I was going to say Capri Bibbs, him too a little bit. But J.D. McKissick, Chris Thompson, you just think of those guys. I was going to say Eckler a little bit. And then also another cool stat, most receiving yards among halfbacks since 2019. Travis Etienne with 1,021. Demetric Felton was second at UCLA with 753. And then Najee Harris was third at Alabama with 729. So like I said, I'm saying college stats only just to give you guys a picture of how athletic this guy is, man, and how he makes plays. And this was against the Houston Texans where he did that nasty spin move and scored. It was tied up 14-14. He made it 21-14, excuse me, in the third quarter. And helped the Browns out in that game, man. So, like I said, I'm intrigued, man. I'm intrigued. And that kick return, too. So, they can use him as a kick returner, too. So, also, pass catches with the highest receiving grade on screen passes last season. Demetric Felton was second with 97.6. I know it's limited snaps, but we talk about the screen game and guys breaking tackles. That's what he can do. He played with Dorian Thompson-Robinson at UCLA, too, and he's on the Browns, too. So I guess the Browns just like drafting guys out of UCLA. But I'm just looking at he's got some burners on him, man. Like, he is the definition of a yak guy. He's the definition of a yak guy. So I'm most intrigued by the Demetric Felton signing for sure. I really am. So, all right, you guys let me know what you guys think. As always, Healthy Commanders, peace.